All right, welcome to Unstoppable Agents. We are super glad that you are here. This is the show where we help agents build their business, build their wealth, and build a life of impact and significance. I am your host, Brian White. I'm a realtor in North Texas, team leader, and an icon agent with EXP. And I'm excited today because I have Sharon Kushner with me from New York City. And I'm excited to get to know her a little bit, for you guys to get to know her a little bit and to learn more about her. Sharon, thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
I say us like I've got a frog in my pocket. So thanks for joining me today. Thanks for being on the show. Great.
Sure, my pleasure.
Sharon, tell me about you and your real estate journey.
So I started off my working years in computers, computer programmer, and then I worked my way up to management. And I was doing that for many years. And then when a company got bought over by another company and I got laid off, at that time I had two little kids and I wasn't going to go back. At that time, there was no working from home type of thing, no Zoom. Sure. It wasn't like those many years ago. So once I lost that job, that job actually did have the ability to work from home 2 days a week on that job. It was a very unique situation. And then when I lost it, there was like no way to get that back again. I decided to do something that I thought had more flexibility, which I thought at the time being a real estate agent does. I thought it's going to give me the flexibility to make my own hours and work from home and be home for my kids when I needed to. Little did I know that it's a 24/7 job with very little time for myself, unless you carve out time for yourself and hire people to delegate things that you could actually manage your life. But starting out, I just figured, let me try this for now. My kids were little. I wasn't ready to go back into Manhattan. I live in Rockland County, and commute was a nice hour and a half each way. So I wasn't ready to do that. So I figured, let me do something local for now. And then my kids get older and they go to school. I could always decide to go back to what I was doing before, the corporate world.
So when was that? Like, how long ago did you get started?
I got laid off about 18 years ago. And at that time, my kids were, my youngest two were very little. And then I took a break a little bit from work altogether because I was working for 18 years in the corporate world.
Sure.
And that was like it was demanding. So I took a little break for a while. And then I got my real estate license in 2008.
Okay.
So I think I got laid off in 2004, and 4 years later is when I got my real estate license.
You've been at it for 14 years. So when you got started in real estate, where did you get started?
I was always in Rockland County. That's where I lived, and that's where I got started. I started and I didn't know that I would be in it for the long haul. Like, I started because my kids were still young. I figured, let me just do this and let me see how it goes. And I started building stronger and stronger. I started selling more, and I started building a team. And I hired people to work for me. And I realized that, you know what, I'm good at what I do. It's working out nicely. So I guess I'm here to stay with it.
That's awesome. And that's great. Yeah. So do you have a team now?
Yeah, I have a team now. I have buyers agents working for me, and I have assistants working for me as well to help. I delegate whatever I can to help me grow my business. I try and do what I'm an expert at that I can delegate, and whatever I could delegate, I delegate. So this way I can kind of go around and cover more and make more money really that way. It gives you more leverage when you have people that can help you do what you could do the job.
And it's more fun. So you do the things that you're great at. I don't talk to many agents that had a career in computer programming. You're obviously flexible and can do a lot of different things. So congratulations on that. So you're at EXP now, but you didn't start there. You didn't start at EXP in 2008.
Right, that's true. I started at a local place that a lot of some of my neighbors were there. And then I ended up changing to Keller Williams at one point because I realized that would be better for me to grow my team. And then when I found out about EXP, I wasn't even thinking to change, but then I learned about it and I realized that the money splits were so much better. The whole cloud-based concept made a lot more sense rather than having all this money go out from my commissions on offices and paying office staff and things like that. It just made more sense financially, and I wasn't losing anything. The technology I still had, everything was still there. So that made the switch.
That's great. Yeah, you didn't want to pay for an office. Tell me about your team. So you've got a couple of buyer's agents, you've got some staff. I mean, what's your model? How do you guys work?
So I have a good office manager, and then I have somebody that works for her that handles a lot of the things that she will delegate to that person. And then I have a transaction coordinator. That's basically the staff. And then I have someone actually that runs my Instagram, not in my office. She works remotely, but she runs my Instagram account. I don't really have time to go on social media, but obviously my presence has to be there. So she actually creates all the ads and does all the postings. And if anybody responds to something that they were interested in, then she'll forward it to me and I'll contact them. But she basically runs my Instagram. And then I have somebody else that I pay, also works remotely, that runs my KV Core, my website. So sending out the email campaigns and make sure everything's intact over there, sending out emails, like it was Memorial Day weekend or July 4th weekend, he sends out an email to everybody. He handles all that for me. Then I have the buyer's agents that are helping me with the buyers that come. I don't really usually go out with buyers for the most part. A little bit I do here and there, but a lot of them I delegate. I'm there obviously to coach them if needed and to give any guidance as needed. My buyer's agent will go out with the buyers, and sometimes my buyer's agents will actually get a listing. They'll know someone's sphere of influence, and they'll be able to say that they're working with me, and then the person will feel confident to list with them because they know that they're on my team. They know that they're working with someone that has a lot of experience. So they help in that respect. They could bring listings to the table as well.
So it sounds like you've got some really great systems set out. Would you describe yourself as more of a systems person, or are you more of a salesperson? I
remember at that time, one of the other agents that had a lot more experience was working with me, and she was like, how'd you know to do that? And I said, well, I guess it came from the corporate world where I realized that if you want to grow, you got to hire someone to do a lot of the work that you can delegate. So I am both. I'm a systems person. I don't know that I ever thought of myself as a salesperson at all. But when I started doing it, I guess I realized that I had the ability to sell. I don't think I could sell something I don't believe in. Some people are salespeople and then they could sell anything. I'm not. I feel like I can't sell something I don't believe in. But if I believe in it and it makes sense, then, and I have to say that there are times that I'll lose a listing because I'm too honest. I could go to the house and say, this is what we should price your house at. And they don't like what I'm saying. And they went with another agent that priced it higher. And at the end of the day, they'll call me back and they'll say, you were right. So I just feel like when I sell something, I have to believe in what I'm selling.
That's good. Integrity is important. Yeah. And in the long run, it creates a better brand for you in the industry because they'll share that story and that story will get around. So I'm going to take you back to the beginning of your career. And now that you've been doing it for a while, if you were able to tell your new agent self anything, a lesson you learned, something you should do differently, what would you tell your new agent self?
So I do believe that being on a team in the beginning is helpful. I think a lot of agents spend a lot of money at the end and they lose money because you're so busy trying to make money and you're paying all these people to promise you leads and things like that. I have a lot of my buyer's agents will ask me questions about these things. I'll say, been there, done that, I tried that, I spent the money, don't be careful. So I think being on a team is important, even if you end up leaving the team eventually. Like if some people have the personality to eventually be on their own and not be on a team, but I think you learn so much from being on a team. You're getting that guidance, you're getting that structure. There's so much to learn from being on a team. I think that everyone should really start off being on a team where you can learn from other people. I think that's an important thing. Like some people, I think, have this model of themselves. I want to be on the top. If I know what, start slow, be humble, learn, gain, and then you'll soar. When you gain that knowledge in the beginning, you're able to soar a lot more, I think, in a better way later. I think it'll help you. I think you build that strong foundation and then you go with it. That's one thing. The other thing is realize that you need patience in this business. Nothing happens so quickly. You don't grow overnight. You're not going to sell 50 houses the first year. Usually, I hear some amazing miracle stories. Sometimes I go on these webinars and some young kid out of college sold 50 houses the first year. Okay, fine. I don't know how he did it. Maybe in a different county, things are different. I don't know what kind of connections he has. Maybe he has an uncle that gave him a lot of business. I don't know. But generally speaking, you got to be patient and you got to be consistent. That's important. Don't give up, be consistent, be patient, and know that it takes time to grow a business. Integrity is extremely important, being honest in business. All the reasons why people will refer you and recommend you. You want a good reputation. Never look to make a quick buck by being dishonest, because at the end of the day, that's not the way you want to grow your business. I guess that's the advice.
And that's terrific. That's some fantastic advice, especially all of it, especially being coachable and being humble enough to learn, because we all start there. We all start with it.
And always, I feel like I'm always learning. I feel like I'm still talking to people. I'm still learning from people. I feel like I always have to have that open mind to always learn more. You can never be finished learning.
You made a switch to EXP. So tell me when that was, and what problem were you trying to solve, or what problem did EXP solve for you?
So I switched to EXP in 2018, which is 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to solve a problem. I wasn't even looking to switch. Some guy I was coaching with Haas Pratt, and he introduced me to EXP, and I'm like, oh, I just changed to Keller Williams not that long ago. I'm not looking to change, whatever. And he's like, Sharon, just listen to a few of these clips. He sent me some like video clips, and let it sit on your mind. When you're ready, when you're not, it's fine. But just listen to the clips. So I listened to the clips, and then like I thought about it for a while. I did some research on it, and it took a while till I finally said, okay, I'm going to do it. And it takes guts to do it, because anytime you want to make a change, it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. You got to just do it. Especially when you're busy as an agent, the last thing you have time for is change.
Yep.
But the main thing that pushed me to EXP really was the split, as far as the money.
The 80-20 split. Yeah.
Yeah, the split and the capping. The capping at 16. That's all great. And I felt that, I felt that it has everything to offer that Keller Williams had to offer, only more, because the more money in my pocket.
So did you just celebrated being an icon in May, or were just awarded? So how many times is that for you?
I don't know. I don't even count. I don't know. I think I went to EXP with a ready experience. It wasn't like I was already working for a while. So I kind of iconed right away. I iconed thing my first year also. I think I've been iconing every year, at least 4 times every year.
Congratulations. So what does being an icon mean to you?
I guess it means that you figured out a way to do your job in a way where you could actually profit from it and teach others and coach others and grow your business. And at the same time, growing your business for yourself, you could also help other people make a living by coaching them, teaching them. And then it's a win-win situation, because if they work for me, now I'm making money on them because we're working together, and they're making money on me. So it's just a win-win situation. Getting and giving is really the goal in life. So I think whenever you get knowledge and you can give it over, you're gonna grow more.
Yeah, Jarek Robbins, now Tony Robbins' son, now runs Success Coaching, and he talks about the second mountain. So the first mountain is when we're climbing and we're trying to figure out what the world can give to us, what we can get from the world.
Right.
And then the second mountain is what can we give back?
Exactly.
That's what you're talking about with what icon means. Is it's your opportunity to give back. You can make a difference for others. You can create opportunity for others, teach them, and really help them build a great income. By the way, earning stock for doing the thing you were already doing anyway. What a win all the way around.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'd love to know, are there any causes or any places that you serve that are near and dear to your heart that you'd like to share?
I am involved in a lot of community charities. Very involved in my community. There's a lot of campaigns going on to help people in need or whatever it may be. I think that's part of how I do my business in the first place also, is people know that I'm a people's person. You need a favor, they know they can come to me. I think when you have that kind of connection to your community, where they know that you care about others and you're there to help others, they want to recommend you. They know she's a good person, she's an honest person, she's going to help you, like that type of thing. They're not even thinking about money. It's thanks for helping me. It's like that type of thing. I think that's important.
Yeah, so, when you come from contribution, then people want to reciprocate. You don't do it because they're going to, but when you come from contribution and give generously, then people can't help but want to return the favor.
Yeah.
Anything before we wrap up? Anything else that you'd like to share?
I can't think of anything else really. Just tell people out there it's not an easy business, and I think one of the things actually I could share is I think that being in this business, going from a corporate world where I got my check regardless of what I didn't do, and coming to a world where it's commission-based, I think it really strengthened my connection with God, because like you see how God's helping you throughout your month, throughout your year. Obviously, some months are better than others, but you learn not to take things for granted. I guess when you always have something, you could take it for granted. Like when you just have your checks, what's going to come, then that's it. But when you know that it's commission-based, you stop and think, you know what, thank you, God, I see where your hand was involved in this. And when you have difficult months, sometimes you turn to God and say, God, I know I need your help. And I think that's very important, to live life with that connection to God. I think it helps us grow, it helps us bring up our children, it helps us be good people and know what we're really here for.
Awesome. What a great way to wrap up our conversation. Tell us, if people want to find you online, on social, wherever it is that you want to point them to, where can they find you?
So Sharon Kushner, if you Google me online, I have SharonKusher.com is my website. My Instagram account is SharonKushner.realtor. That's my Instagram.
We'll put that in the description. Thank you. I really appreciate you joining. This was fun, and best of luck to you. Let me know if you know anybody move into the Dallas area, then I'd love to serve them for you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Nice talking. All the best.
Hey, you too. Take care.